again the screen. Ok, so meninos, vocês poderiam pegar o link lá no YouTube e compartilhar lá nos grupos, por favor?
Sim.
Ok, perfeito. Você está me ouvindo bem?
Sim, Joyce.
Alright. Aí vocês podem desligar o vídeo se vocês quiserem. So hello everybody, thank you very much for joining us today, and we are actually very excited to be here. We are on the third colloquium of Geopolitics of Energy, and the topics we are going to be talking about is energy crisis, inequality, and sovereignty. And so for today, we have the amazing Alexander Kormishin. So I'm going to give a brief introduction because he has an amazing curriculum. So he's currently the chairperson of the BRICS Youth Energy Agency, an international youth driving organization endorsed by the BRICS head of the states and ministers. Just give me a second because I think I forgot to mute here my video. Just give me a second. Because I'm also transmitting on the live on YouTube, and I don't want to have that background noise. All righty, let's go. Let's start again. So yes, basically, again, so Mr. Kormishin is the chairperson of the youth and the BRICS Youth Energy Agency, an international youth driven organization endorsed by BRICS head of state and ministers of energy, established in 2015 to engage youth people from the BRICS countries into energy cooperation, and also ensuring their voices to be heard. So Mr. Kormishin holds a bachelor degree in with honors in economics of International Institute of Energy Policy and Diplomacy of the MGIMO-University in Russia, and 2 master's degrees with the same university and University of Leipzig in Germany of International Energy Economics and Business Administration. So we're very, very happy to have you here, Alexander. So the floor is yours for the welcoming remarks and words. I think your mic is mute. I'm gonna.
Yes, sorry, yeah, now you can hear me. So it's really great to be with you today, and I'm so much thankful to you for the invitation. And I would like to send you the greetings from Dubai Expo 2020, where I currently am with a business trip, and I'm really happy to connect with you from this place. So first of all, I'd like to give this short introductory remarks because this is so great what you are guys doing, incredibly important that you're driving from Brazil and your observatory, as long as energy geopolitics is one of the crucial areas of expertise these days. You might have heard that the energy has been a major topic, especially this year, taken that, especially for energy transition and energy topics. There was held the high-level dialogue on energy within the United Nations, and it was a huge, let's say, venue to discuss the energy issues, and the initiative like yours is creating the impetus to drive the discussions on energy further on. And a special role in that, of course, and I'd say an aspect is energy geopolitics. So as for my experience, you might be an engineer, but when it comes to the international negotiations and international rules, it's always a floor for additional, discussions for people, and especially for those who are engaged in the overall policy. So therefore, there is a need for such platforms like yours to discuss what is important for young people, for the experts in terms of the energy geopolitics, so that we have, as BRICS countries, coordinated positions in terms of the energy discussions. And BRICS YEA is committed to this and driving the energy cooperation forward, in particular on the youth level. So congratulations once again. And if I may, I would start with the speech, which is about BRICS. So Joycey, would you moderate this section?
It's actually, so yeah, we are like kind of very informal at the moment. So yeah, we actually wanted to kind of to hear from you, obviously, and like your projects and so. And afterwards, we're gonna go ahead and present a little bit about our observatory, about the activities we are developing, and also how we can either cooperate in just not in Latin American matters, but also internationally. And we're going to showcase as well some of the of our organizations partners. So please, if you want to complete your remarks, I think you can go ahead, and then we can just focus on the presentation of the observatory.
Great. So so my speech was titled like BRICS Youth Driving Ambition in the energy cooperation field, and this is actually it is. So I will give you, I'd say, interactive 5 to 7 minute speech about the BRICS youth and really delivering the results in terms of the energy cooperation and what is the energy cooperation for BRICS youth. I will also highlight what the BRICS YEA as a, let's say, coordinating agency for youth energy related matters has prepared for 2022 and what the priorities are, and how the BRICS youth has driven the ambition this year in 2021. So BRICS youth is incredibly important, and I guess this is something that we are all really understand. So since 2015, we've been driving the agenda, especially the energy one, and in 2020, we decided that climate should be a part of our agenda. BRICS countries as a group is incredibly active in terms of the geopolitics. The BRICS countries created the Energy Research Cooperation Platform in 2018, and since then they've been developing the joint actions in regard to the energy. So the idea behind this Energy Research Cooperation Platform is that BRICS countries as developing nations sometimes lack the, let's say, objective data on their position in the whole world. In line with the International Energy Agency or the International Renewable Energy Agency that are leaders on the market on, let's say, energy-related matters, so they are providing statistics and data. Some countries feel a little bit infringed in terms of the data because their national statistics show different perspectives, and sometimes this is the reason for different interpretations and rankings, because as many of us knew and possibly realized that ratings and indexes, so they kind of define the place of our countries also in terms of the credit capacity. So it defines a lot about financing of initiatives in terms of energy. So the BRICS countries, as, let's say, the leading countries of the developing world, created the BRICS Energy Research Cooperation Platform, which has been also starting, I guess, in 2022, they've been releasing own reports, BRICS Energy Report and BRICS Energy Technology Report. And under Indian presidency, they released one more report, which is a BRICS depository. So this is like a joint document that reflects all the counterparts in terms of energy cooperation, and this is quite useful. So the idea is that there should be a BRICS energy organization that is responsible for energy matters and would provide the let's say, objective view on first the BRICS Energy Cooperation, and the development of the industries, and also other countries that are also part of the developing world further on. So when we talk about geopolitics in terms of energy, this is a very clever step, and it was made in 2015. The story behind the energy cooperation between of BRICS countries lays actually in a visit to the International Energy Agency of few senior energy officials of BRICS countries when there was like BRICS community without energy. So they attended the International Energy Agency and said that probably there should be an initiative that would engage BRICS countries on energy-related matters. And they said, I mean, the representatives of the IEA, that why do you need your own? You can join us and do the research with us. So, and at that moment, the colleagues of mine understood that probably there is a need for this certain platform because there is a demand, and therefore they started cooperating on energy-related matters. And as I mentioned, the geopolitics on energy is incredibly important when we talk about different ratings and finance capacities that are directly influencing the economies and also the politics that are being driven in different regions. So it was a small part about the BRICS Energy Research Cooperation Platform. This is really an interesting topic because BRICS YEA, as the BRICS Youth Energy Agency, was created 3 years before the official framework for energy cooperation between BRICS countries. And we became the basis for driving the energy agenda for the whole union of the countries. So BRICS YEA, for those who are not aware of this organization, is an agency that is responsible for different matters related to young people. First of all, this is Youth Energy Cooperation, and the agency releases the outlooks and also has its own platform for, let's say, major event, which is the BRICS Youth Energy Summit. So it's being held annually, and this is an amazing opportunity, and it's growing like every year and becoming more and more important because BRICS YEA once was an informal agency, and starting since 2020, it was supported, I mean, endorsed by the 5 heads of state. So I guess this is most privileged agency in BRICS countries simply because it is endorsed by 5 BRICS heads of state, 5 ministers of energy, and 5 ministers of youth. So it holds enormous mandate from these authorities. And we are really happy to work with you, especially with the observatory, because we worked with Joycey and we worked once with Anna, and it was an amazing journey that we've gone together. So talking about the priorities of BRICS YEA also, which define our approach towards energy and climate geopolitics. So this year we really worked a lot, not only in the field of energy, but also in terms of climate. So BRICS YEA launched an important initiative, which was called the BRICS Youth Road to COP26. So we decided that this should be a space for BRICS youth in terms of climate, and we did a really good job because we engaged in all the line of COP-related events, including the pre-COP Youth Summit, Youth Driving Ambition, right, or something like that. We also had a delegation to the COP16 and the COP26 as well. So we had different events, and we really covered the full capacity to engage young people on the climate and energy transition related topics. So in 2022, we are anticipating to cover the same capacity and to extend it, taking that we've got a really interesting opportunity, in regard to our companies that are supporting young people, and we will be really happy to have all 5 countries, young people from those five countries, to really drive the action, and we will be ready to provide the form for that. So it's going to be first initiative road to COP27 in Egypt. So we'll be trying our best to make this happen too. So talking about Brazil, there is an opportunity, and we're really developed it for something that we discussed with Joyce, with you too at COP. And you might have heard maybe that BRICS YA has its own SDG platform that is developing different initiatives, and how the different projects, like from BRICS with SDG, and it also had its BRICS Youth SDG forum. And we are developing a new initiative, which is called BRICS Amazing Arctic. So Amazing, it has connection to Brazil, and it has a connection to Arctic. And guess what the point is? It's all about indigenous people living in Brazil and the Arctic. And we think that this is such an interesting topic to discuss and to drive forward. And we will be issuing this the concept of this initiative very soon, I guess in January, and it will be available for all. We also missed the outlook in 2021, taking that we had so much to prepare in regard to the COP26, and we are issuing the outlook in 2022, and it will be BRICS Plus outlook with a huge capacity. So we are incredibly proud that the outlook each year is becoming even bigger and larger if you compare it to the previous editions. And 2022 is going to be a digital version, and we are incredibly happy. If we talk about geopolitics, is that the BRICS Youth Energy Outlook has become an essential part of the BRICS energy strategy development. So it means that the outlook, which is developed by young people from 5 countries, is annually reviewed by Ministers of Energy and Deputy Ministers of Energy, and included into the national strategies, as well as into the joint documents like the roadmap for energy cooperation by 2025, which was adopted by BRICS Ministers of Energy. So it's amazing, I say, impact that the BRICS YA, with support of numerous young people from BRICS countries, are having. Talking about the whole line up of the events, we will be putting emphasis on hydro generation. So we decided that we talked a lot about nuclear energy generation. We talked a lot about natural gas in 2019. So we missed hydropower a lot, and we'll be emphasizing different campaigns around this too. There will be an initiative from BRICS with the G 2022, and we'll be driving it forward also with support of different professors and also energy experts. And it will be comprising different webinars and also offline events if the COVID pandemic allows us to do so. And without those initiatives, it definitely will not be possible to drive the ambition that BRICS countries are delivering. You might have heard that there are different initiatives on youth energy cooperation that are, let's say, that appeared last years. For example, in 2020, in March, the GCY announced that there's going to be the G7 Youth Constituency, and we are glad that we are working with the constituency and supported it from the very beginning. And we are incredibly happy that we launched our work together with the BRICS Observatory in UNILA and your observatory. So it's just an amazing that we're driving this initiatives, and it wouldn't be possible without your support. So we're driving, I'd say, the BRICS the BRICS, I'd say the BRICS youth are driving the energy cooperation and energy geopolitics, the BRICS countries. And definitely we are at the forefront of the action. And to finish, I'd say my short presentation about the BRICS countries and the role of young people, I'd like to say that in 2022, the presidency in BRICS is coming to China. And just yesterday, I got an email from the National Energy Administration of China. And you might have heard that we've faced different difficulties with Chinese authorities, taking that they have a different level of registering initiatives, and sometimes they're really difficult to conduct something together. But they announced that they will hold events on youth energy cooperation within the presidency and also the BRICS Youth Energy Summit, and we'll be happy to contribute to that. And we'll be happy to have you guys joining the preparatory process as young people from BRICS countries and also renowned partners of the BRICS YAA. And I think I would like to wish you all a very good job within the colloquium on energy geopolitics, and I'll be happy to contribute further on. Hope you found this information quite interesting and useful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alexander. I think it's very exciting, kind of the panorama that you just like presented to us, and it is interesting also to see. And I also advise like other people from other countries that not necessarily are part of the BRICS group, also they can join as well, and they can also be active. So please check the medias of the Youth BRICS Energy Agency. Is very exciting. They have looks, the documents, and the ongoing activities. And so far, we are also very grateful to be as well contributing. And in case of questions, we are gonna let you arrive those questions to you all. So I think our director of the observatory just wants to give some words of thanks. So Lucas, you want to go ahead? Can you hear us? Just give me a sec. Thank you. There he goes.
Hi. We want to thank you for all the support we had from you during the last years, and by supporting our activities and observatory members, and for the cooperation. And we look forward to develop more joint projects and maintaining the cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to work with you. And I remember that we worked since, if I'm not mistaken, 2018.
Yes.
Yes, so it's been like 3 years time. And this is amazing what we've done. And I really believe that everyone who participated in that had their contribute to the whole process. And when you see that BRICS YAA is a part of the heads of state declarations and the very important documents where it's highlighted that young people from BRICS countries are huge on energy, and their voices are heard within the UNFCCC COP and high-level dialogue on energy. Along, I'd say not only not as much as other organizations. So BRICS YAA has become a real voice of global youth for energy cooperation, and it is amazing what we're doing together. And huge thanks to you.
I think it's spasiba. Thank you. So yeah, thank you very much. So wish you the best luck with all the projects and in the next year. So we're just going to continue presenting actually our observatory. So see you around, Alexander. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Will you be presenting the observatory in Portuguese?
In English, actually, because
I'll take a look.
Alrighty, so thank you very much. So everybody, we're just gonna continue with presenting our observatory, our activities, in case if you want to get involved as well and cooperate with us. All right, so this is kind of the first time we presented in English into a live event. So basically, oh, let me just increase the, there it goes. So yes, our observatory in our organization is called Latin American Observatory of Geopolitics of Energy, Energy Resources, Infrastructure, Technology, Security, and Energy Integration. Just try to go for the next page. We are located, yes, I just want to recall, this is very important. We are an organization that is based within the Latin American University for Federal Integration, which is called UNILA, and we belong to a nucleus of studies, of strategic studies, geopolitics, and regional integration, how we call it NEG. NEG is composed by several observatories, as Alexander mentioned. We have the BRICS Observatory, we have as well Infrastructure Observatory. We have several others that contribute to our work. And basically, we are located in a region of a three-border area of Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina. So it's like in Foz de Iguazu, basically. And this map is actually from one of our partner organizations, which is called Student Energy. And with Student Energy, we are an associated organization. They have more than 41 chapters around the world. So we were the first chapter actually to be part from Brazil and maybe and also kind of the Mercosur region. So basically, which ones are our activities and what we are actually doing is we do a lot of research, not just producing articles, but as well doing conjoint research in the way that we want to map the panorama of technology, energy cooperation, even conflicts and strategic resources in Latin America. How we said, having an emphasis on the Mercosur region. We also had a policy of decentralizing information and allowing people to have access to information. So we count with an amazing database and a website that is, we're gonna present it at the end. So we also have several social media channels where we are constantly observing or mapping this panorama. And as well, we have a lot of projects regarding outreach activities. And those outreach activities are basically based on energy literacy or energy alphabetization, where we contribute either to organizing events or making events as well that contribute for people's general knowledge into energy. So we have some of those events is the ones that you're participating now, which is a third colloquium of Geopolitics of Energy. And we also have creation of energy materials, translation of materials, and so. We're just gonna bring you a little bit about the story about how we got to start. And basically, back in the year 2017, the Professor Lucas de Oliveira, he proposed research and also like a research project with the name of the Energy Observatory in Latin America. And it was kind of the foundation to get started and to understand how the observatory will get organized, what were the priorities for an observatory of the region and so. And well, I was participating in a congress in Mexico with Student Energy, and we had moments that we got together, the Latin American community. We realized we were not very familiar into each other's realities, which was kind of a wake-up call for us to understand, like, right, it's fundamental as well to have a place of discussion, to have a way in order to share information and so. So that's how we came back actually to Brazil, and we started developing actually the first colloquium of geopolitics of energy. This has been more than almost like 4 years ago. And in this colloquium, we were already having foundations of conflicts, integration in the region. We were working mainly with energy scenarios and scenarios perspection, because it's an amazing tool as well for people to have this future thinking perspective. And with that work that we did, we also had, we developed more scenarios of Latin America by the year 2030. And we were invited to be part of the Conference of Youth in Germany. This was again 2017. So we were actually doing outreach activities since the beginning. So we had a broad public. So we got to participate and also to bring kind of our perspectives on cooperation, but also put it into a global, regional, and local level with the participants. And furthermore, we were also kind of invited to work with different publics for this kind of alphabetization and energy, especially in this nexus: water, energy, and food. So we have several workshops as well in Brazil. And one of our biggest events of integration, it was the first seminar, the first international seminar of strategic studies, geopolitics, and regional integration, where we were basically working three main topics: perspectives of development, geopolitics, strategic studies, and defense, and challenges for regional integration. So we have approximately, I think, more than 500 participants from several countries of Latin America. And after this, we had a lot foundation on the challenges, especially in the energy area, that we needed to tackle. So from there, several of our activities that we're currently developing in the observatory were born from this initiative. And we also have done a lot kind of partnership with other organizations. This was an organization in Peru that is part as well of Student Energy. And we had as well an interchange of knowledge, bringing as well some of our partners in Paraguay from the National University of Asunción, which we're going to have them as well tonight in one of the debates. And well, this was what Alexander was actually talking, that they were contributing back in 2018 with us in the second colloquium of geopolitics of energy, where we have as well a day full of activities. We have courses. We also have one of the, I think we had the first open dialogue on the Itaipu agreement in the renewal. So for you to understand, so where you saw on the map where we are located, basically we have a huge presence of hydroelectric plants in the region, and we have actually the second biggest with installed capacity, which is called Itaipu, and is owned 50-50 by Brazil and Paraguay. And by 2023, the countries will be renegotiating actually not just the energy taxes and so, but the agreement in fact. So we organized kind of one of the main dialogues back like 3 years ago, where we have academia, we have kind of as well parts of the Itaipu, the administrative part of the Brazilian and Paraguayan side. And it was also organized by our organization, where we wanted to understand especially how, like, the details of this agreement, and also we wanted to study further to see how we can also get involved and thus making an impact in our region. And afterwards, we continue doing several projects as well, not just mapping projects, but as well as making partnerships. And one of the main partners that we have is this group of research and energy systems. They are based on the National University of Asunción in Paraguay. And again, with the Youth Energy Agency of the BRICS, we have developed back in 2018, we were working on the outlook of on their youth energy outlook, and we actually wrote one of the chapters of this outlook, bringing also not just UNILA but the observatory into international cooperation proposals and research. We hope next year to be participating in the next outlooks. And also before the pandemics, we were already organizing hybrid events, presentially and online events. So we were having several discussions of geopolitics, conflicts, and so. However, whenever we, since obviously 2 years ago, we continue our project completely online. And actually one of our main first lives that we have during the pandemics was a pandemic, energy crisis, and geopolitics. So since then, we keep having a program, continuous program of several webinars and events, so we can get to know more kind of the context, but as well to share this with public. So we were contacting organizations, individuals, as well as the industry, academia. And so to understand this context of energy geopolitics from the different perspectives. So those are some of the activities. And as well in the level of internationally, we were participating in several webinars, we were developing several dialogues, even in heavy industry transition, as well with Mexico about geopolitics of energy systems. And with Irina, we were supporting an event on youth innovation in decarbonizing industry and buildings. So basically all of that work that you saw, it took us for us to be part of the Youth Sustainable Energy Hub. So we were one of the main projects with one of the highest scores selected last year to be part of this hub. So this hub is actually an initiative from the youth of the Sustainable SDG 7 Youth Constituency, which is a group basically of youth from all around the world who are working towards energy transition and into bringing youth voices into the energy sector. So we actually advise a lot for you to take a look of this. Outlook is very interesting because you're gonna see our observatory in the map, and you can either connect with other organizations and see other projects and so. So that's very exciting. And last but not least, we also have been active with one amazing initiative, which is called LASES, or Latin American Sustainable Energy Summit. And from last year, we were making and developing webinars, Road to LASES, of youth and energy in Latin America and the Caribbean, youth as a catalyst fighting energy poverty. And we basically we're contributing to develop a platform with a startup of climate education in order to educate youth in energy matters. So the way to launch this platform was actually through a summit. And on this summit, we have several topics. It was economy, politics, and environmental politics, climate change, sustainability, technology, innovation and development, renewable energies and society, and mobility, and sustainable connectivity. So all those topics we were developing back almost 2 months ago. We were having this amazing Congress and summit, and several members of our observatory were involved into this process. First as mobilizers, so we have members like Osman, Leonardo, like doing all this work as well of contacting of organizations of Latin America and the Caribbean. And furthermore, during the event, we have members like Kiko, Ana, Yanderi, Victor, and even myself, we were just either moderating and as well doing all this process of the technical as well. And we reached around 2,000 participants, mainly from Latin America. We also have from other countries. We have 42 lecturers and plus 52 hours of online conference available in the platform and on YouTube as well. And plus 70 collaborators, which our team was around 10 collaborators. So this is it. We also got to develop an app on the topic. And so this is kind of one of the main work we do as well as outreach. And we're actually going to have a lecture from the guys of LASES on Friday. It's going to be our last activity. They're going to be explaining us more about these interactive tools for energy literacy. And to finish kind of this lecture with this SDG 7 Youth Constituency, I'm representing myself, the Latin American and the Caribbean. So I'm the focal point of youth organizations in the Caribbean and Latin America. And the idea is to connect these initiatives with this global initiative of the SDG 7 Youth Constituency. And as Alexander was mentioning, we have such a big participation at the COPs, at the last COP actually in Glasgow. We were making dialogues, we were facilitating dialogues as well. We were participating in several meetings with UNIDO, IRENA, and some other organizations. And actually we're gonna have kind of a call with youth post COP26 in order to engage and do more work in the Latin American and the Caribbean region. So this is a little bit to show you how the observatory was born and how as well we take the perspective of the observatory into international arenas. And that's last but not least as well, we have right now our third colloquium of Geopolitics of Energy after almost 3 years without it due to the pandemic. And for you to have a reference of the program of the next days, this actually was the only activity in English. We had this morning an amazing course of energy efficiency by Koana. We're having this lecture at the moment. We're going to have lectures in Portuguese about the energy markets and several debates about challenges for energy integration in Latin America, energy crisis in China. We're going to have as well another course of geopolitics of energy in Argentina, geopolitics of Itaipu, and even debates about sovereignty and energy justice or injustice, and as well as about on the control of resources, energy resources in Latin America as well. And as how I mentioned, the guys of LASES. So during this year, we're gonna have lecturers from Mexico, Costa Rica, Colombia, Paraguay, Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela. So as you see, we are growing as well, and we look forward organizing not just bigger but more impactful events throughout the years. So this was once our team whenever we used to have the presential meetings. This was a picture from the last colloquium. We still have to update it after COVID times. So I just want to leave you all with our social medias, actually our Instagram, our Facebook, and also our website, where is kind of our biggest project is to democratize access to information. And we hope that all this work we have been developing, if you have any motivation to be part of us, contribute with us, just go ahead and leave us a comment as well on our media. And so as we said, gracias, obrigado, thank you for your attention. So this was pretty much it what we wanted to share with you, and I hope that you participate in the next lectures. So thank you very much for everybody participating. See you in almost less than an hour.